Hey now, this is the Just Never Know podcast. I'm your host, Ron Fraser, and I'm joined today by a good friend, Tamara Abrosimova. How you doing
Hello.
today?
Hi.
We're lucky to get her today. She's a world traveler. She's been in Europe twice and Canada. And hey, why don't we start right there? Where you all been lately?
Yeah, so I went to London like a month ago. It was a bucket list wish of mine, and I'm so happy I went there. People were super nice, food was great. I got to see all the, historic places and all the touristy spots, so that was awesome. Then went to Canada, saw Montreal, Quebec City, Toronto, where they filmed one of my favorite shows, The Boys. And yeah, and then a week after that, me and my mom went to Ireland to see our Ukrainian family. And she's like, I want to live here. This is everything is green. I can have my cats here and farm animals and kinds of stuff. I'm like, do it. I'll go. Yeah.
I love the pictures from Dublin, Ireland.
Oh yes, thank you. It's really cute city. I liked it. And everybody's like super loud and super drunk, and I'm like, yeah, that's Ireland. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
This is it. This is it.
This is it.
Wow. Well, hey, we got so much to cover. I mean, geez, I've seen you everywhere. You're doing everything. We got, books. And you're thrilled. I got to talk about you're a thrill seeker. There's no doubt about that. I'd like to start out with a juicy question. What's the most interesting thing about you that not many people know?
I am a certified scuba diver. Maybe some people know that, maybe they don't, but let's see. I know how to fly a small plane, particularly Cessna. Oh yeah, hi, that's me. It's me posing. Yeah. Um, it was a fun dive in Florida, where I got certified. Yeah. Let's see. I've flying planes, particularly Cessna, because that's the one I got trained with, and all of the small planes, they're super similar. The controls are just in different places, and it's so much fun. I'm like, ooh, I'm flying, yay! But
Well, it's just so they know that you're a pilot. That's what I'm talking about.
um, yeah. Let's see. The other one
You
was
get nervous? You get nervous doing that, or you pretty cool?
no. Well, yes and no. Like I'm fine doing like I'm fine doing like emergency protocols, like, yeah, taking off is fine. But the thing that gets me nervous is talking with with people to the oh my god, I forgot the word for it, but so the
Radio tower or
radio
something.
tower. Yeah. I don't know why. I'm like, there are people, they're doing their job too. But yeah, I don't know. I get nervous with that, but everything else is fine. I'm like fine doing, yeah. Um,
Wow. Ride bikes?
Riding a bike, yeah, those, yeah. I know how to ride a motorcycle and dirt bike. It's funny, that was before I fell twice, but that's because it's not because I'm bad. It's because it rained day prior and the leaves were still kind of wet, but that's okay. I mean, riding a motorcycle is like, sorry, falling is part of, learning how to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, if you ride a motorcycle, you're going to fall. So
Yeah.
sooner or later, you're going to fall. You know. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Well, I'll tell you what. Look at let's look at your reel. I
Oh
mean,
gosh. Yeah.
so interesting. Some of your real and your looks. You have 1,000 different looks. I mean, you can look like anybody.
I try.
Let's look at a little reel here.
Алло, привіт.
Ти добре зробив, не виклик?
Все в порядку. Що ти хочеш? Уже дуже поздно.
Ви можете запам'ятати вакільки.
Не смішно.
Бути цих, Анастазія.
Вона буде жити.
Що ти справи?
Танцюю.
Я не чути музика.
Американські самотні танці, ти би підійшов.
Зателефонуйте мене. Ви можете.
До побачення, Іван.
Here's the good tip. Keep your mouth shut and you'll let me get out of here. I have another order. Why do you have another order? Oh my god! Hey, stop being a bitch! Oh, you know, us girls were just having fun. You wanna join us? Next time, I'm really going to shoot her. You don't want that to happen.
You're the one who's insane!
I mean, you're the one who ruined everything.
You didn't give a shit about us. All you cared about was fucking that bitch! You killed our baby!
What the fuck? I mean, I can see where it looks like it because of the layout, but no, mine is actually very different.
That's all right. Hey, what was that like being on that set?
Well, it was interesting. Craig Robinson, he's great. He was super friendly. And everybody was, of course, super professional. And yeah, that's a good picture. Like with the sex scenes and whatnot, basically they have to have limited amount of people on the set. And the intimacy coordinator goes to details and it's all very technical. And she's like, are you comfortable doing this? Are you comfortable doing this? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. Intimacy coordinator, she was really surprised how comfortable I was being kind of naked there. But yeah, so
I've
after
done
that,
something.
what's that?
I've done something similar to that, and it's like people. It's not as bad as what people thinks it is. You know.
Yeah. I mean, we're all like naked underneath our clothes and like we were born naked. And like those dreams that a lot of us have where you're naked in front of a bunch of strangers and it's kind of like a nightmare. So after doing that scene, my nightmare stopped. So I'm like, yeah, because I've experienced it. It's not bad anymore. But
Right.
yeah, no, everybody was super nice and I'm so happy. Like my agent submitted me for that and I booked it. And yeah.
Working with that whole crew would have been awesome, for real.
They were really funny.
Goodness. Hey, I want to ask you right now. I mean, your life advice. What's the best piece of life advice you've ever gotten?
Can I curse here?
You sure can.
Okay, I just want to don't. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Yes, don't give a fuck what anyone says because it's your life. You can do whatever you want, and they don't know you. Like they don't know what you do. They don't know who you are. They're just random people. And another one. It's not an advice, but it's something I've heard very recently. Your second life begins when you realize you only have one. So it's like YOLO, but it's
That's
more.
true. Yeah. How true. How true. You came from another country, the Ukraine.
Yes.
What was that like? First of all, what was your childhood like in the Ukraine?
It was a very happy childhood. I just remember, playing outside. No cell phones, of course, at that time. And oh my God, that makes me sound really old. No cell phones. I mean, anyways, played outside with the neighborhood kids. I remember playing soccer with the boys from the neighborhood and getting into some fights with them. But that's fine. I mean, reading a lot of books at home. I still do. I still try to read books. Let's see.
Right there. Speaking of book,
Yes.
how about you writing your own book?
Yes, I did. I did. It's called the Promiscuous Diary. No, the Promiscuous Diary of Roxanne Temporis. I don't know why I can't remember the name of my own book, but it's about basically time traveler. She's a scientist and she's like a hopeless romantic, and she finds this abandoned time machine at the space station she works at, and she finds it, and then as soon as she walks in it, she disappears into another dimension, and then she kind of saves lives, throughout her adventures. Like, she's like, the first world she's in, she's like a it's like a magical world with trolls and wizards and fairies and whatnot, and then second world, it's like she's in her favorite TV show. Then the third one, it's well, anyway, it's like a mixture of Quantum Leap and Doctor Who.
That's cool. Very cool. Very cool. I'll check that out. Wait, what inspired you to become an actress?
So Harry Potter films, actually. When I first saw the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone, I was so disappointed that they weren't real wizards. I'm like, wait a minute, they're actors? What? But then again, I was like 7 years old at the time, so and
Still a
later,
letdown.
what's that?
It was still a letdown.
Yeah, yeah. But so those films, and then A Certain Man. I used to go to local theater with my mom a lot, and I kind of had a crush on one of the actors, and like he was in like every play, playing different character, and then he was getting paid for it, and I'm like, I want to do that. That looks fun. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So what made you decide to move to the United States?
So I didn't really decide. My mom did. So basically, she um, went to marriage agency, and where pretty much women helped another women find a husband abroad. So like England, Germany, United States, and so my mom started communicating with one of them, and a year later, he helped us with like paperwork, and that's how we got here. So yeah, but she wanted a better life for both of us. So I'm always going to be grateful for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What advice would you give to other aspiring female actors?
Um, so if if you, well, I would say get a formal education first in theater and anything acting related, anything you could learn about acting. If you like musical theater, if you've seen dance, act, I would advise go to New York. There's lots of Ukrainians there. It's a big city, lots of opportunities. If you're more into, TV, film, there would be Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta. I would not live particularly in the city in either of those. I would live outside just because it's cheaper. I mean, it's
Right.
everywhere. So find a roommate way ahead before you move there. So yeah, you don't just come to LA and live in a car. Like, have a plan.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what are your hopes and dreams for the future of your career?
I want to book a recurring role on a popular network show where I get to portray my brand, which is, kind of sexy Russian spy that gets to do like the stunts, and where I actually, can, speak multiple languages instead of just, getting roles just for my looks. So yeah, like I want to do like stuff like Keanu Reeves and John Wick, and then Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible. Like, you know, I mean, yeah,
Action.
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 Yeah,
Action. Yeah.
it's so much fun.
Yeah. You got it all. You got it all wrapped up in one when you got action,
I'm
you
trying.
know. Hey, what are some of the things you miss the most about Ukraine?
the food, and people. I miss real food, and like borscht is a traditional beet soup with vegetables, and with sour cream, and it's so good. And potatoes with like a sunflower oil. I think it's sunflower oil. It's not olive oil, but it's one of the oils, and a little bit of onion, and just the food is so good. And people, I have, of course, I miss my people, and I miss the language, hearing the language and whatnot. So
Right.
those are
Right.
the things I miss the most.
What are some of the biggest cultural differences between the Ukraine and the United States?
Oh, okay. So, the first one that pisses me off so much is when so in Ukraine, if you come to someone's house, you have to take your shoes off. That's like a culture thing, that's a respect thing. So in America, like my mom and I, we lived with my stepdad, her husband, and he just went from the street in his shoes and right into the home, and then he would put his feet on the couch and bed, and I'm like, what if he stepped in poop or something? Like, take your shoes off, gosh darn it. That's the biggest thing. I don't know why people do it, but and then the Walmart, for example, like people from Walmart who wear pajamas. I've done it once just for experience, but I just don't get it because
I don't either.
like in Ukraine, especially women, we have to have makeup on and dress up just to take out the garbage or go to grocery store for like 5 minutes. So yeah.
Yeah. God. What is a challenging thing? I mean, you're doing all these thrill-seeking things. I don't know if we even touched on them all. Pilot, hang gliding, scuba diver, motorcycle. Did we miss anything? I know you handle guns as well, I believe.
Yes, I like to shoot. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, my favorite would probably be a AK-47, which I actually had a real AK-47 in the Code 13. And I thought it was fake, so I'm like, bah, 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 say hello to my little friend. And I've been told it's real. I'm like, okay, I'll put it away. I will not aim it at you. But no, I like guns. They're fun. They're
Yeah. Well, I'm going to throw some pictures up. You can elaborate on them if you would. I just thousands to pick from. My gosh.
oh yes. That was me and my photographer Jason Brooks. We were shooting in Savannah on one of the parking lots. And I love doing cosplay, and I don't know why I started doing Spider-Man, Spider-Woman cosplay, but I don't know. I like to, I guess, as an actor, play different characters, and
It almost it almost looks so real. I know it's you, it is you, but I mean the whole the whole persona is like okay, wow, all right,
thank you. Yeah, one of my favorite American films is actually Spider-Man. Like the first one I saw was with Tobey Maguire, and then I love The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, and that's me. That was in Charleston. Um, and I met this photographer. I don't remember how I met him, but he's so good. I did a few more shoots with him. I remember we did like something like Queen's Gambit photo shoot a few days after, and then we did like a Elsa kind of shoot, and like I had glitter on my face, and yeah, I like doing shoots
very
sometimes.
photogenic, very photogenic.
Thank you. Oh,
There's
that one was that spy kind of shoot, quotation marks. That is, I don't think that's a real gun, but that was that was in Charleston, and it was really wet that day, and it was a little bit cold, but that's okay. I tried to man up and not complain much, but oh, that was my that was my first headshot. Oh, how
Had to
young.
go back a little bit.
What's that?
We had back. There we go.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think this
yeah,
is
that's my current one. I've been told less makeup, but like talk with your eyes. And I'm trying. I'm trying to talk with my eyes.
yeah. That's most of it is the expressions that people can set themselves apart. Am I wrong? I mean, I think it's the expressions that you put on your face, and
Yeah.
but you have literally 1,000 different looks, no matter how you look at it.
Dude, that one was at the one of the red carpets in Colombia. Um, I I didn't see my film, but I watched like a couple of different ones from different filmmakers. But that was a fun event. I enjoyed it. That one was at the Andrea Frankel's self-taping class. That was a good class. That was fun. That was in Savannah in like 2019 or so. Yeah, that's like me as Black Widow, and yeah, like oh, because I was heading to Dragon Con, and I'm like, oh, I don't know who I'm going to be, so I'm like, well, I'm Russian and I like guns, so somebody suggested Black Widow, but I did not get to wear it because it was so hot in Atlanta for Dragon Con. I'm like, no, I'll just be Harley Quinn in a dress. It's all very flowy, so yeah.
There you go. There you go. Speaking of 1,000 looks,
Oh yeah, that's my non-binary slash lesbian headshot. I figured, like with Hollywood being more inclusive, and my agent Mark, he really liked that I chose like to have a non-binary look because
right?
oh no, I mean I auditioned for quite a few non-binary characters, so it's always fun. Yeah.
Here's a time we got to work together.
Oh my God! Yes, 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 yes. It was so hot that day. I will never forget it.
Oh yeah, our our air conditioning went down.
Oh gosh, I did not have any. You guys, at least your was someone working because
That was beautiful up there. I mean, it was beautiful. But turning that big limo around on them little mountain roads, nah, I didn't like that too much. Uh, and the drone,
drone shot. Yeah,
yeah, that was pretty wild too. That was pretty wild. Gotta ask you, do you play?
I do. I do. I used to play and play. There's a song. It's called Spanish Dance, and it's featured in the movie Once Upon a Time in Mexico, the one with Antonio Banderas. So I played that song on my talent show, and it's like one of my favorite songs to play on guitar. But I have to get back into that. I haven't played in a while, so yeah.
Man, you're extremely funny. I mean, when I talk to you, you're extremely funny. Do you ever think about trying to get into the comedy?
Yeah, I wanna get into more comedy because it's fun, and a few months ago I started writing like a stand-up routine because I'm Ukrainian. I have quite a few stories, and where I talk about the cultural differences, and yeah, so I need to work on that on my stand-up routine. But I really want to get into the comedy.
Let's run this little video here of your comedy here.
Oh yeah.
Hi, my name is Tamara and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And I keep hearing about this thing called Southern hospitality. Like people would be like, hi, how are you? Smile at you for no reason. Yeah, so I'm from Ukraine, the former Soviet Union. People are very, very serious. And, if a person sees another person smiling at everybody for no apparent reason, yeah, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna call the nut house and be like, look, this fool is smiling at me for no reason. Like, I don't know what's wrong with him. Can you guys take care of him? Yeah, so the nut house people, they're gonna grab that guy to the nut house. That guy's not coming back. Yeah, so whenever somebody is like, "Hi, how's it going?" Like, I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with that guy?" So I recently did this thing called registering on dating website. I have not been on a dating website for like 5 years. So all these new terms like casual dating, foodie dates, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, somebody tell me. And I'm a very straightforward person. So it's like if I see a cute guy, I'll be like, hey, let's go out to dinner. There's this place. How about we meet up at 7 and you can pick me up at this address? And let's see, a few times people said yes, and then they ghosted me the next day. And then few people said they wanted to verify me via video chat. I'm like, dude, I'm real. All my pictures are there. All my social media is there. What else do you want? And then two more people asked me to go on a walk. I have ADHD, I have OCD, I have PTSD, I'm the whole fucking alphabet. Yeah, I'm gonna get bored from the walk. I'm a fancy kind of girl. Like, I'm like, let's go out to a restaurant, let's go to a rave, let's have fun. Like, I'm not gonna go on a walk with you. What kind of freaking serial killer shit is that? Like, who goes on a walk these days? Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I'm getting off Bumble. This is ridiculous. Yeah. So recently, my buddy Jay got broken up with. He's like, he calls me. He's like, hey, Tammy, can you please help me? Like, this bitch broke up with me. She moved to Hawaii with my dad. Like, and she left me her retarded dog. I'm like, Jay, whoa. We don't say retarded nowadays. We say special needs. This bitch left you her special needs dog. I used to work at John Fabrics, and it's this arts and crafts store.
See, definitely should get into comedy.
It's
No
not
doubt.
my best stuff, but I'm getting there. But thank you.
So after you did all this traveling, now what are you resting for a while, or are you going to get back into acting here real quick, or what are we doing?
Well, I'm taking a break from acting during the strike. Since strike is going on, I'm like, you know what? Auditions are slowing down. I feel like it's a good time to focus more on traveling. And I'm already planning my next trip because I came from Ireland where it was 60 degrees. It was like 65. Came back to Savannah. It's like 53 degrees. It's raining. I'm like, yeah, I need to go somewhere warm. This is too depressing.
Yeah, today's crazy. It's even warmer up north than it is here. I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty bizarre today. It's pretty bizarre. So, are you going to create any more of your own projects?
Um, I don't know, not yet. I mean, it's not in the plans. I did work on a screenplay. I just have to edit it and whatnot because I submitted to a few, like screenwriting competitions and got some feedback, some good constructive criticism. So I gotta work on that, and then we'll see how it goes. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, I always like to ask an off question.
Ooh.
If you could ask any historical figure a question, who would you choose and what would you ask?
I would have to go with Elon Musk because, and I don't get like why a lot of people don't like him. I'm just like looking at him like, yeah, he's a billionaire. He's working all the time, putting in work and whatnot. But I would just ask him what, how to phrase this. When can people go to other planets besides Mars? Like there's the planet outside of what's it called, in Proxima Centauri zone, and it's very similar to Earth. It's not too cold and it's not too hot, so it's perfect. But yeah, I would just ask him like when can people go there instead of Mars particularly. And I really hope that as soon as the colonization of Mars begins, that they will not screw it up like the Earth. Fingers crossed. So yeah, because I feel like life on other planets is different. I feel like it's really cool, really.
It's probably going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. It's just a matter of when,
Yeah.
My. Any parting words for us?
Fuck the haters. Keep doing what you're doing. keep following your dreams and make goals, because goals are part of the dream. Goals are the steps that will help you get closer to your dreams. And don't give up, but rather take a break if you're feeling burnt out, and then get back to it, whatever it is you're doing. So
Exactly. Great advice from the great actress, Tamara. I appreciate you being on today.
thank
I
you for
appreciate
having.
everybody listening to us. And maybe we can do this again sometime.
I would love that. This
I'd
was
love to
really
have you on a round table with us too.
round table.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thanks everybody for listening.